It's week 8 of the National Football League, and we've got C.D. Lamb. He's going to be a busy man in the passing game. It's the Cowboys and the Giants, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 25.
We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
I think his task in this game is really simple. Eliminate the turnovers. He threw 2 interceptions last week. I can't believe I led with that because he had 3 touchdown passes.
Right.
So there's a lot of good that he did, but he's got to take care of the ball better. The ball has to go to guys wearing the jerseys that they're wearing this week, not the opposition.
The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
McCarthy operating from the gun. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And trotting out there leading them is their 4th-year quarterback.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4. The slot man in motion right. He's going to handle it on the touch pass. Past the 20. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. That one goes for 36 yards. That catch, by the way, kind of noteworthy. It's number 764 in his career. Ties him with Hall of Famer James Lofton.
And he's done it just as James Lofton did in his career. Smooth.
They'll run here with Akers. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Second and goal from inside the 5. Akers again. And not a whole lot there as they'll get him down at about the 2. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Akers is in. Touchdown, Dallas. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
Aubrey good with a PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Now McCarthy. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. He may go. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Well, we went from scoreless to 13-0 in a hurry. First, their offense had the touchdown, and now the defense comes through with one.
You can't get a better 1-2 punch than that. Follow up a touchdown offense by getting one on defense. If they keep that effort up, you'll take the other sideline out of this one very quickly.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And that'll make the score 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Well, the road ahead a little bit more difficult now after that pick six. So dealing with his deficit here, we'll see if he can try to make amends on this drive. 1st and 10. Throwing after the interception. McCarthy. That's going to be caught by Rivers. An excellent way to start the drive there. 18 yards.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Check go.
Now a first carry here for their running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. You look at this Cowboy defense. And they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
And that's a lesson learned from the previous drive. Last time he forced one, and it turned into a pick 6. Here, he knows better, and he just throws that one away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, McCarthy. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants have cut it back within a score. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Oh, well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now a 2nd and 10. On play action, they'll throw. That's out to the flat for Akers. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. This now a 3rd and 4. He'll drop to throw. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
And this will be taken at the 13. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The New York set to take the field. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again. But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Let's go now.
Looking to throw McCarthy. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
You look at this Cowboy defense.
Well, they've been excellent against the pass, the number 6 unit in the NFL.
This secondary has really developed into one of the strengths of this team. They diagnose, they cover, they run, they hit. What a nice team.
And a nice job there defensively to contain him and get him to the ground a few yards short of the first down marker. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Here's Jake Bailey now.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
A give up the middle to Akers.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it 2nd and 7. They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here.
Now they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And they can't bring him down. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He's up to 88 yards receiving in the ballgame now, and he's got a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now.
And that's another throw that could have been intercepted. Part of this, you credit the defense. They've been really stingy. But he's also made some really questionable throws. And that's another one right there.
Going deep for Walker. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
Throwing again, McCarthy.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
Osa Odighizuwa with the effort there to earn the sack.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Here's McCarthy.
And he fends him off. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down.
And now after that sack, we'll pause here a moment because someone was shaken up on that play.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
On fourth down, on his groupie to try the field goal.
From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Well, these two teams, you might remember, met earlier in the year in Arlington with the Cowboys winning that ball game. So they're looking for another win here at MetLife Stadium to take the season series 2-zip. And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36.
Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And this offense on third down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
He'll check this down to Akers out of the backfield. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Okay, great.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
The Cowboys are 2-4 here in the first half of the year. They come in with fresh legs. They got the extra time off thanks to an early season open week.
And usually your hope is that your open week comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get your fresh legs back, you have to take that time and run with it. And that's what they're trying to get done here.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He finds his man complete. It's Ferguson. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 27-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Again, he'll drop to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up.
As long as you've been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now's where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Two of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, Brandon, we see why it's a team game there, because there's a sign of relief that they just released defensively. If he's able to get that one away, that's likely a touchdown. But instead, that pressure from the front got to him and forced the incompletion.
You're right. He had him open. Just a split second too late on the release. Touchdown, Cowboys! CeeDee Lamb. A 1-yard touchdown reception as his guys are able to extend their lead. Aubrey good with a PAT. And that makes it a 21-10 game. A 10-play drive that time. And it's finished
Touchdown from CeeDee Lamb. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Now we've got a Giant player here slow to get up after that last play.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Looking for the out route here, and it's completed to Kirk. And past the 30 before he's out of bounds. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the 1st half.
To throw is Duggan. There's a short one taken in by Otten.
Escapes the defender. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. In that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 39. Here's Duggan to throw.
Buying time to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Duggan will look to throw this.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
3rd down and 10. Duggan now to throw. To the right side and intercepted. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
Now a play fake here on 1st down.
He'll find Lamb crossing the formation for the catch.
And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a 1st down.
Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
The touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown.
CeeDee Lamb
with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year.
And the Cowboys will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. The extra point up and good by Aubrey.
And the lead is up to 18 now.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. And the Giants with one final possession here in this 1st half.
And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this 1st half of action.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Duggan looking to throw.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Give them 18 there, and the Giants have a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
The final shot before break. Dugan, he's going to loft one deep over the middle. No, and that is incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They've reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. 59 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just have a great tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
38-yard line, second and 9. Going right back to Akers. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
But they're certainly not neglecting their run duties as well as they ate up the blockers in front and allowed the secondary to get home.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Bobby Okereke. And the Giants are going to get it back here just past the 35. Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 9. Duggan. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. They'll run on 1st down. It's Lloyd, and he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Throwing, Duggan. Otten brings it in over the middle.
Touchdown, Giants! Cade Otten, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Giants are able to cut into that deficit.
That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
A point after, good by Groupie.
And the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again.
Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On the counter, this is Akers.
And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
3rd and 9 here.
They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on to kick it away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Evades the tackler and now some space.
And good coverage there by the punt team. They're able to get down there and drop him with authority. The Giants going to take over again on offense. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. For the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a 2nd down and 9.
Back to throw. Dugan. Throw left side complete. That's Walker. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
That's another gain of 15 on back-to-back plays.
Well, whenever you call and run the hitch route, a lot of times that ball's got to be in the air before the receiver even turns around. That's the result of throwing it so many times in practice is really a timing route. Make sure that ball's out of your hands, and oftentimes the receiver turns around, and there's the ball. Nice completion there.
And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Throwing on 2nd down.
Duggan.
And he's he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
From the gun on third down, Dugan. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 19. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants with possession of the football, but needing points as we start quarter number 4.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
They had 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Complete right side to Otten.
Will go down as a gain of 6, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on third down. Now a handoff looking right. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember.
Well, Charles, you cannot say enough about that play by their special teams. Think about it. That keeps this game at 2 possessions in the second half and really adds pressure to the opposition.
Yeah, it certainly does, especially their offense, and takes a lot of pressure off the offense of the team that's leading. They got a little bit more of a cushion to play with now. How about the thanks each guy was getting as they came off the field after that block? Special teams, certainly special in that situation.
And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
A gain of 19 yards. And the Cowboy first down.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
They'll go again here with Akers.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
92 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock. And this is 2nd and less than a yard. Back to throw here.
He'll find Lamb. That's complete.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 34-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Even with him busting through the contact, he'll still be stopped just inside the 35. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up.
The offense on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now back to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
First down, Dallas.
They'll go with Akers here up the middle. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
So on 4th down, out is Brandon Aubrey for the Cowboy field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And his kick is good. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that personal foul, that only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. And now with 1:52 to go, we get an... the action, a timeout here defensively. They'll look to run with Akers. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Cam Akers with career touchdown number 96. He joins Eric Dickerson on the all-time list. And the Cowboys look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Hang on a second here, because on that last play, it appears one of the Giants shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. That's going to be caught by Rivers. And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there. Now 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
Looking to throw McCarthy. This is caught. It's Kirk. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now McCarthy. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Cowboys are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. Well, I get it, Charles. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Down big. They just sent their receivers out, let it fly. But the defense, they were ready.
Yeah, and there aren't too many people left in this stadium that couldn't see that coming. But that's not a major criticism at all because you had to try it. What you're hoping for is one of your athletes out-athletes everyone else and makes a dramatic play.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys, and maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?